Hi and welcome to Scrap and Rabbit. This is Christine. In today's video, I just wanted to give you a quick tip on an easy and cheap way to store your dies. I like bringing my dies with me whenever I go somewhere and I know I'm going to want to use my big shot, and it's a pain having all of these individual packages. I was keeping them in these plastic page protectors and I was going to put them in a binder, and then the binder started getting quite thick because I do like to keep all of my little bits whenever I cut some die cuts, and I have some spares. I keep them with my original dies. Anyways, my binder was getting quite thick, so I decided to make my own specialty binder for my dies, and this is what I came up with. Now this is super simple to make, and it's a cheap way of doing it. I'd rather spend the money on the actual dies than the storage solution. And so I used this binder that I had at home. You can get them at the dollar store. And I also used the same page protectors I was using before. And I think you can buy these in a pack of 200 or something for $10. So there's tons in there. If you get your binders at the thrift shop, sometimes people even leave the page protectors in them, so you won't even have to buy them. That happened to me the last time that I picked up some binders. So I'll show you how I did this. Basically, I slit my page protector in two so that I have a pocket on the bottom and then a pocket on the top. Now, I'm pretty sure they have these already pre-made like that, but they would be more expensive, and I just wanted to use my cheap protectors that I had. So I slit them myself, and I stitched along the bottom of this panel, and then I didn't want the stuff to slide out like that. So I just made these little flaps here, and eventually I'm going to put some magnets on there, and that way everything will stay in. In the meantime, I'll just be careful not to hold my binder upside down. So this is what it looks like, and as you can see, I keep a lot of these die cuts here with my dies, and that way I know that they won't fall out once I put the magnets in there. So I'll just show you quickly how I do the page protector. Now I'm sure some of you are probably already doing this, so I'm going to combine these two together. So I just take a piece of thick cardstock, the width of my protector, and I put that in there. Now these are pretty standard shaped packages, so if you had a really narrow package, you could make your bottom panel narrower and then the top wider, but I'm just going to make these so that the pockets are at the halfway mark. So I've got my cardstock in there, my piece of thin chipboard, and this hole is my center mark. So I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife and just gently slit over there. You don't even need to press hard because this is so thin, like that. So my slit is made, and I remove that. So now I'm going to stitch on my sewing machine just above this line. What you can do is put some two-sided tape on here if you prefer. But I'm not very good at taping straight on plastic, so I'm going to use my sewing machine and just put a stitch through there. So here we go. So here's my bottom pocket and my top pocket are made. So I can stick my dies in there. And it's only going to take half the space in my binder. Like that. So now I'm going to take some leftover scraps of paper . And this one will be cut about 8 inches wide. And 2 inches edges. Now you could get really fancy and punch a nice decorative border along the bottom edge of your flap. I think I might actually make an album and cover it up and go through the effort of making it look pretty. Okay. I'm going to score these pieces at 1/2 inch to make a hinge. Now I'm going to put this one on the top and I'll attach it to the back of the page protector. So I'm going to put my two-sided tape inside the hinge. Put this around. I'm going to lift up a little bit of the tape and position this level with the top and fold down. Like that. Now this one will slide inside the bottom pocket like that. So I'm going to put my tape on the back of the hinge. I know these videos seem very simplistic at times, but I want to make them detailed so that even someone who's brand new at scrapping can follow along really easily. Okay, so I'm going to lift a little bit of this tape. And I slide that in the pocket. And I can just line it up underneath my stitched edge, like that. And then remove the rest of the tape backing and press down over the hinge. So there we go. So now I'm going to want to attach magnets to my flap to help keep this closed. So I'm just going to grab one of my magnets and I attach it to the top flap with a little piece of two-sided tape. Like that. I remove the backing and I'm going to stick this little piece of scrapbook paper on top to hold the magnet in place. Then I drop another magnet on top of the first one. This is how I attach my magnets usually. And I remove the tape backing from a little piece of two-sided tape that I just attached to the magnet, like that. Then you fold down so that the magnet attaches to the plastic, like that. Then I put another piece of two-sided tape over the magnet to hold it in place. And this one too, I'm going to cover with a piece of two-sided tape just to make sure it's nice and sturdy. I have a problem with my wrists. I think it's a pinched nerve and it's still not quite fixed, so I have a feeling like sometimes I'm a little bit clumsy when I'm working. I tend to drop things. There you go. So that's why sometimes when I'm working I might look a little bit wobbly. Okay, so there's my top flap is closed, and I would do the same thing to the bottom one. And now my page is ready to insert into my album after I put my magnet in the bottom. But like I said, it's not a super pretty storage solution, but it's quite functional, and I think maybe I'll go through the effort of making myself a nice one of these days with the pretty border and some scrapbook paper. If you know someone who's into scrapbooking and they collect dies, this would make a really nice gift for them. I do have in my YouTube videos a video that shows how to remove these vinyl covers and rewrap them, and you can make a really nice gift binder for someone as a gift. I think I might end up making myself one. So anyway, so that's just my quick storage solution tip for the dies. Have a nice day.